Okay, in this example, we also want to find a potential function for the vector field given, and this is a vector field in space. In a previous video, we already showed that this vector field f is conservative, which means that it has a potential function. So our goal is to find the function whose gradient is f, right? So we want to find phi such that the gradient of phi is equal to the vector field given. Okay, if that's the case, the first thing to do is to identify each component. So each component of the field has to be a partial derivative of our potential function phi if f is a gradient of phi. That means that the partial of phi with respect to x is the first component of our given vector field. So let's just write those down. Partial of phi with respect to y is the second component of our given vector field. And the partial of phi with respect to z is the third component. So our goal is to kind of construct this potential function. And the way that I'm going to construct it is I'm going to start with the first partial and integrate that with respect to x. Right? So we will integrate with respect to x first. And that's going to give me my first candidate for our potential function. We know it's a function of 3 variables. So we'll call this our, I don't know, just put a little arrow so we remember this is our first candidate. Taking the antiderivative of 2xy minus z squared with respect to x means that we'll have a, antiderivative of, that's going to give me an x squared y, x squared y minus z squared x, right? Antiderivative with respect to x, but I might have a function here, I'm going to call it g, with respect to y and z, that when we take its derivative with respect to x is 0. So this acts like a constant with respect to x. So we need it there. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the partial of the phi that we have with respect to y and compare it to what it's supposed to be. Right? So my first step is generate our first candidate. Second step is going to be from that first candidate, I'm going to take the partial of phi that we have with respect to y and compare it to the second component of our vector field. Just have to be careful in doing all of this. All right, so for my function that we constructed, I'm going to go ahead and take the partial of that function with respect to y. So that means the first term with respect to y, that's just going to give us an x squared, the derivative. The second term with respect to y will just be 0. And the third term, well, that's going to be a derivative of this function with respect to, I'm just going to make it a partial of g with respect to y. And all right, so we've got it, we've done that. The third thing I need to do is compare it to what I had before. So what we had from our second component in the vector field is that the partial of phi with respect to y is x squared plus 2z. So I'm going to set this equal to x squared plus 2z because I know that's what it should be. And what this tells me, my x squares will cancel, and this tells me that the partial of this function g with respect to y is 2z. All right, so that gives me an idea of what g looks like. So g, which is a function of y and z, should be the antiderivative, so 2zy plus some function of z, because this is a constant with respect to y. Right? So that means if I take the derivative of g, I'm going to get 2z. Yes, that's true. If this is just a function of z and I'm taking the derivative with respect to y, the derivative of that will just be 0. All right, so let's see what we have so far for phi. Our phi now looks as follows. We have more to add to it. We have our previous terms, the x squared y minus z squared x plus g of yz, which we know is 2zy plus some function of z. All right, there's our second candidate, right? We're refining our phi by using the partial derivatives of each component. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fact that the partial of phi with respect to z up here is 2y minus 2xz. We still need this part. We still need to make sure we have that. So we're going to take our phi, and I'm going to take the partial of phi now with respect to z. When we do that, the partial with respect to z, the first term is 0. The second term, that's going to give us a negative 2xz. Third term, partial with respect to z, is going to be plus 2y plus the derivative of this function with respect to z. I don't know what that is, but we know that that should equal our third component of our vector field. Those should be equal to each other. So when we set those equal to each other, we have a negative 2xz plus 2y plus h prime of z. That should be my third component, 2y minus 2xz. Great, look at what we have. The 2y's cancel out, the negative 2xz's cancel out, which means that h prime of z is 0. And that tells us that h of z probably was just some constant c, that when we take its derivative with respect to z is just 0. And that means that we're able to complete our phi, our potential function phi. Now, right, we're going over here. We know what h of z looks like. That's just some constant. So this should be x squared y minus z squared x plus 2zy plus some constant c. And there we have our potential function. Now, of course, we could check that we did it correctly. How would we do that? Well, our check here is going to be that, remember, the gradient of phi is our vector field. So let's check that we get that. Let's find the gradient of phi, each of the components, and we'll compare with our original vector field. So the partial of phi with respect to x is going to be 2xy minus z squared. I'm just taking partial. This is partial of phi with respect to x. Now I need partial of phi with respect to y, and that's going to be x squared plus 2z. And partial of phi with respect to z will be negative 2z plus 2y. Z. No, plus 2y. Did I do that correctly? No, I missed something here. Partial of phi with respect to z. Lucy's snoring, so I'm having a hard time. Let me do that again. Partial of phi with respect to z. Okay, that's 0. That's negative 2xz plus 2y. There we go. Now, is that the same as our original vector field? Let's go look. I'm going to have to just look at my notes because I can't see that far high, but you might be able to look at your notes. I'm going to go back to my notes and see if that is the same. Let's see. This is correct. This is correct, and this is correct. So we did a good job, and we found our potential function phi.